Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at the cannabis sector. So first up, we're looking at ticker symbol NBEV. Nice move today. Got RSI now up there at 73. It's above 70. It needs to stay above that level. There was a gap up open today, so now there is an unfilled gap between high of day on Friday and low of day today. So a drop down to 575 would fill that gap. It's pushing now above that upper Bollinger Band. The close above this high close from last week on the looks like the 20th, that is signaling more upside potential. Now the all-time high at $10 is the key level to break. It did push higher in after-hours trading and it hit 921. Check out the volume bars down there. Huge volume, 96 million shares traded today. So yeah, look at the weekly chart here. So on the weekly chart, it's breaking out this week above the May high close resistance level. So it'll be crucial that it stays above 674. If it can close above that level for the week, that should signal more upside potential. 10, once again, is going to be the big level to bust through. Okay, if you look here at the monthly chart, you can see here it really broke out last month. That was a huge month, September, for InBev. It got back above that middle Bollinger Band and started a new uptrend. And now this month, it's breaking out above this May high close resistance level. That's going to be the big level to break, that 575 zone. If it can close above that level for the month, that should signal more upside potential. Keep in mind the month just started and this month's candle will not set until the closing bell on the last trading day of the month. Now look at the big volume last month. I mean, monster volume for this stock. So we'll see if that's going to take it higher here. Look at InBev on the 15-minute chart. So you can see here intraday it had closed here above high close horizontal resistance at 1 o'clock, and then it pulled back and tested that middle Bollinger Band. A similar pattern happened today. It came over, closed above high close resistance, ran up and pulled back, held that middle Bollinger Band. The difference was it bounced. It came down here and had this really strong bounce, and then notice the volume. The volume really poured in here, and so pushing really hard. 921 at the in after hours trading. What you want to keep an eye on tomorrow is this middle Bollinger Band, currently at 756. It needs to keep holding for the chart to remain strong. If it were to break, it could possibly come down and test that 50 simple moving average, which is currently down there at 635. So yeah, so really sweet move for InBev. If it can get above $10, then it'll be what's called a blue sky breakout, and there'll be no overhead resistance above. It'll be uncharted territory. Okay, and then you have to start following the intraday charts. Okay, let's look at IGC here. So huge move today, closed up 39%. So another 40% here on a really nice 4-day run. Check out RSI up here at 90.83. It is hitting very frothy levels. This is a level where it's taken a pause or pulled back from in the past. You've got Fasto now at 97, so both are hitting very frothy levels. You've got a multiple gap up opens in a row. You have the 1, 2, 3 gap up opens in a row, and you have this bearish 3 gap ups reversal pattern that has formed, and so yeah, you've got the bearish 3 gap ups, and then yeah, and it's pushed higher here with another 4th gap, and so what's going on now is that the candles are floating above the upper Bollinger Band. The key is all about holding EMA 4 currently at 638. As long as that holds, the uptrend is super strong and it can keep pushing higher. As you can see back here on the 18th, it closed above EMA 4, and that level has been holding ever since. It closed right at that level right here, but it held. And so if you're swing trading, as long as the EMA 4 is holding, just keep riding. That said, when it looks like it's topping out, that's where you can make a trade. If it pulls back and holds that EMA 4, that becomes the reload level once again. Look at MACD. It's getting super steep here, and so once it gets very vertical, it becomes an unsustainable trajectory where it could end up taking a dip. Okay, so let's look at the or end up topping out. Let's look at the 3 gap patterns one more time. So I've showed this multiple times before. That's a classic candlestick pattern. Now if you look here, you can see the gap between yesterday or Friday and today. It filled with the lower wicks, but there is an unfilled gap between Thursday and Friday. So a drop down here to just below, just about 475, that would fill the gap down here if it tested EMA 8, currently at 481. It is trading at 1133 in after hours trading, so it's pushing super hard right now. So it's really breaking out. It's making a monster run. And yeah, if we look over here at the monthly chart, you can see here that it's up here at 1133. It's above this $10 resistance zone, and then the next level is going to break. It's going to be from back here between 2008 and 2011. There's this cluster of candles, and it's basically between $10 and up here around 18. Just above that is that $20 level where the upper wicks have hit. That's the high, and so it's basically between 10 and 20 with a lot of trading here between 12 and 15. And so you're going to see if you know, it can come up here and bust through these levels from back in you know, basically 2010. Right now you can see this high close right here at this red line. That's going to be a huge level to break. That's right around $12 or so. You know, it's going to need to break above and close above that level to keep pushing higher. And so we're going to see about the horizontal resistance. If you look here at this month's candle, you can see it's floating above the upper Bollinger Band. And so many times when that happens, the candles will work back into the bands. The first support level on a pullback is EMA 4 at 550. Look at that huge volume. I mean, just giant volume last month and huge volume the month before. And starting off this month with giant volume with 63 million shares traded on the first day of the month. You know, do keep in mind with the big volume, they do have they do have an offering going on, and so they are selling some shares here. So I recommend reading this. That they filed an 8K, and so yeah, so the current 8K came out, and so you just have to be on the lookout for possible you know, shares being dumped at some point here. And then they do have a, you know, they had a reverse split the last time in 2013, and so that's why you have such big numbers on here on the on the monthly chart up here at $72 and $50, because that's reverse split adjusted. And so yeah, if you look here at IGC on the 15-minute chart, you can see here that it's been in a very strong uptrend. And so if it can hold that middle Bollinger Band at $8, that's going to signal more upside potential. Once that breaks, that's going to put the 50 simple moving average on deck. You know, as long as that green line's holding, the bulls are still in control. That's the last line of defense. Once they let that level break, that's when you could see some consolidation. Right now, it's been pushing super hard. We'll just have to see how much higher they can take it. Okay, so just be always on the lookout for a potential climax spike. Okay, if we look here at Neptune, you can see here this is news from back on the 17th, but they're you know, looking to get their license from Health Canada, and they're going to be producing cannabis oil. And so they've been in play, and as you can see here on the daily chart, the chart's heating up. It has RSI at 61 and Fasto at 62, so they're both in the bull zone with room to run. There was a bull cross here on 80X with plus DI crossing over 80X there. There was a huge volume spike today, so check out the big volume. It hit this high close horizontal resistance level. The closing price here on the, what is that, the 20th? It almost broke that level, but it pulled back. It's going to need to close above to head higher. If it can break this 470 resistance zone, that should signal more upside potential. If it fails to break, then it's going to continue in this sideways channel. It's been consolidating, you know, for the whole month of September with this 380, 370 bottom, basically 370 bottom and up here at 470 top. And so it has to bust through that 470 resistance to head higher. Notice the big volume spike behind the move today. Now, bullish morning star reversal pattern did form today. You know, I had posted that it was bullish kicking pattern with the candle, but I didn't put into account this small real candle body after the gap down, and so that followed by the gap up open that ended up forming bullish morning star. So that's a nice reversal pattern, and so we'll see if we can get bullish reversal confirmation. If you look here at the monthly chart for Neptune, you can see here that it's coming up and trying to break out. It's breaking currently above this descending same resistance line. So there's a descending resistance, and so you can see right here it's this red line right here. It's breaking above it this month, and so if it can close above for the month, that's going to be really bullish. And then really 5 is a big level for this stock to break. That's the closing price back here in July of 2012, and then just above that is, yeah, it's basically this 5 resistance zone. And so if it can get above 5 and close above that for the month, or if it breaks above that, that's going to be really bullish, and that's going to put 6 on deck. You have the all-time high up here is just above $6, right around 6.20 or so. So it looks like it's headed back to that direction. Now to the downside, if it were to drop below EMA 4 at 397, that would be a bearish change in trend, and it could drop down to EMA 8, possibly come down and test the middle Bollinger Band at 220. Notice how all these candles are closing above the pink line. As long as that level is holding, the chart's super strong, and the signal is to just keep riding. Notice that huge volume spike last month, so we'll see if they can push it higher. One last one to show you here. Take a look at ticker symbol PURA. Yeah, this is another CBD water company, and so yeah, they're getting pumped. Check out how they didn't even spell it correctly here with the I instead of the N, but yeah, for InBev. But yeah, keep an eye on these guys. They had a pullback today. There was a big move on Friday, and so with this dip, it could possibly get moving. Yeah, you have to be careful with this stock. It has been consolidating for a long time, but you never know. They may break out now that they're running the CBD water related companies. For this stock, there's 2 big levels right now on this daily chart. It needs to hold EMA 4 at 0.047, and then it needs to break above 0.053. That's high close resistance. If it can close above that level, that should signal more upside potential, and if it dropped below 4.7, that would signal downside risk. Now it does have to get above the high close here at 5.9 as well, but it's going to be all about right now turning this level into support and then breaking out higher. So keep an eye on it. Look at the big volume on Friday, followed up with big volume today. And then if you look one last chart here for you, the weekly chart, notice the ascending support line and then the descending resistance. If it can break above that descending resistance line, that should signal that it wants to head higher. That's currently at 0.067, and so that's really the big level to break here on this chart. Also, like I said, that 5.7, 5.8 level. If it can get above those levels, then you have this 8 to 8.5 resistance zone, which was the high close back in January, and then just above that at 10 cents is that 400 week moving average. But yeah, notice how it's been consolidating pretty hard in this pattern for the last for the last 2 years. And so yeah, we'll see here if it's going to top out once again at the top of this channel and then come back down and test ascending support, or if this is the time that it breaks out above resistance. All right, thanks a lot for viewing this video. If you'd like to learn more about charts and technical analysis, please come check out the chat. Okay, thank you.